mark up on top and come back and bring it where I want it to be. Clean that up. Alright, now we've got that. Okay. Let's go back with the turkey feather. I'm going to cut a piece from in here. Notice the turkey feather's got that kind of a copper sheen to it in the flat part. I'm going to cut out a piece coming way down in here and make it kind of wide, 3/8 of an inch probably. I'm going to tie it in this way with this part going like this. Lay it on top about halfway like that. The crawfish pattern is a great pattern not only for bass and panfish, but it's a great trout pattern that a lot of people really don't realize. Your large brown trout, they get to where they're almost nocturnal feeders, and in the summertime especially, they eat a lot of crawfish. And in order to find that out, you have to have opened one up at one point. But if you've ever done that, you would know that they really love crawfish. This is some soft hen hackle here. This is kind of a speckled brown patch here, just like you would use on any other soft hackle. I get a pretty good size one here. I'm going to come right to the point where it turns to all fuzzy stuff. We're going to pull that out. Leave it kind of webby. That's okay. It's a soft hackle. We want it to be that way. Now, if I was making this particular fly as a trout fly specifically, at this point I would probably put some 15 thousandths or 10 thousandths lead and put 10 or 12 wraps under here, and then tie my body on top of it. For a bass fly, I'm not going to weight this fly because I want it to, other than the beads, I want to fish it over moss so that I can give it a strip over moss beds. Now, of course, it just depends. If you were fishing for bass in a river, you might want to go ahead and make it a weighted fly. It depends. If you're fishing where you have a current, you have to deal with current, and you need to get down. If you're somewhere where you can fish for smallmouth bass, as I'm making this video for you, I'm in Texas right now. We don't have much in the way of smallmouth bass in Texas. There's a few places where we have them, but there's not a lot of smallmouth fishing in Texas. So it's a good smallmouth fly also if you take because smallmouth loves a crawfish. If you're fishing smallmouth, you wanted to get down near the rocks, like in a lake like Lake Whitney, where we do have a few smallmouth, then you would probably want to go ahead and weight the fly. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to pull in the soft hackle, wind it in, and with the soft hackle it's good if you can keep it separated. Usually you do that by stroking it back with your fingers. I use my little comb thing there sometimes. Wind it in this way. Now what I've done is purposefully not too neat of a job. Instead of making it a real tight palmered hackle this way, we're just kind of winding it in a spiral. We want it to be a little bit all over the place. I like to take a little dubbing comb out the fibers right here. I'm going to pull this, take the turkey feather, push it back this way. I'm going to reach under and pull those fibers out on either side so that they just don't get trapped up under there as bad. Pull this down. You put your thumb on top of it this way. I'm going to catch all the fibers of the turkey feather. It's also good if the turkey feather doesn't separate. Sometimes you can lacquer them a little bit and it'll keep it from doing that. Come in like that. I'm going to bind it down, keeping the turkey feather on top. couple of wraps like that. Now from here, I like to pull this back up here, and we're going to dub in the tail here. You can either dub the tail, or you can use more peacock curl in here. Now if we're going to dub it, I'm going to get a dubbing that's got a bit of a sparkly sheen to it, like this. Just wind the dubbing in here a little bit. Not worried about it being too tight. Just want it to stay in here while we wind it in. Make kind of a loose dub. Push it back a little bit if you need to. Wind over it a bit to make sure it's secure. We're going to pull our tails here. Get all these fibers together. Come right behind the eye and cinch it down. Loose wrap like that, and then bind it in. Pull this back up on top. Clip these tails off evenly here. Come in with the whip finish. At this point I like to take the head cement. For the sake of these videos, I like to use this bamboo skewer to kind of put that in there so you can see it a little better. And actually, you know, I use that a lot on my regular time, because the thing about the bamboo is the bamboo, unlike a dubbing needle that really didn't hold any of your adhesive, the bamboo skewer will wick the adhesive in it. It's a natural product. It's very good for applying it. And there we have it. A nice crawfish pattern.